Hello, I'm Dara, and welcome to my beef farm. It's a Monday morning, start of a new week, and it's great to see a real change in the weather now for this week. Lovely, a cold, crisp morning there, and sun is breaking through. Real healthy morning. So, like with every Monday morning, you start the week afresh, and you get things cleaned out and set up for the week. So I'm just out here at the shed at the back there, and this is the shed where I put up the new slats and put the feeding walls along the front. I have finishing heifers in there, and first thing I did this morning was I went in and checked the water, make sure that it's clean, and it is clean, so that's good. So the trough there now, I was just sweeping it out, so we'll have a nice clean trough there to start the week with. That's all that's left in it after last week. So little bit of stuff that they knock out over the wall along the front. So I'll come along with a scraper and I'll clean up all that, and have it all ready to put fresh feed into. That's that job done. Nice and clean. Trucks are working out very well. I don't have to shove in any of the feed, and the feed is available to them all the time. And as you can see, there's very little waste because of it. So we'll get on and get the next job done.
One of the first jobs I do every morning is to push in the silage. To do this job, we have a wheel made for the front loader. You just pick it up with the tooth of the loader and it rolls along like that to shove in the silage. Now, it doesn't always run as freely as that, but it takes the labour out of it for me, and I don't have to go along with a sprong to tidy in the silage for the cows.
So what I normally do when I'm feeding cattle is I bring in all the bales, put them here, cut the plastic off them, and then I can bring them to where I want them. And all the plastic is then in the one spot, and I'll tidy it up there with a loader and put it in the plastic heap, then keep it tidy for recycling for next year. So this bale I'm opening now at the moment is for the cows. So I'll bring that up to the other end of the yard there and give that to the cows. Everyone has their own way of opening plastic. This is the way I do it anyway. I'm sure there's faster, more economical ways of doing it, but just when I cut it off this way, it all stays as one cover. It's not falling apart in a few different pieces. I wouldn't mind trying out one of those bale handlers that cuts the plastic and holds the plastic together. It's supposed to be a good job for speeding up the feeding process. So maybe next winter we'll have a look at one. I think they're granted it. So all plastic is open now. We'll turn the bales up in their ends and get them ready to take off the net. Now when the bales are up and their ends in, I just roll off the net and I'd roll them all off the one time. So it just saves me getting up and down off the tractor. So I don't use the diet feeder, feed cows. There's no point, there's no need. Just put the silage into them, it's a lot quicker. But I do feed the finishing cattle with the diet feeder. So that's those two bales now. That's why they're there, they'll go into the diet feeder. Now it's Friday morning, end of the week, and the New Holland is parked up outside the workshop. Nothing mechanical, but we're in a little bit of bother with the loader. Just barely got the cattle fed yesterday evening. So I had to go this morning there first thing to get a couple of parts for the loader to get going so I can feed the cattle this morning. So I'll just show you now what's after happening. So these two fellas, they are controlled by two cables and they run down under the tractor and up in under the cab and just come in there at the corner of the seat. And that's my joystick. so that works the cables. So at this end of the cables, it comes into the cab, and there's a little ball joint on the end of it, and that goes into this fella, and he rocks back and forth like that to push up and down each cable. But I don't know if you can, how clearly you can see that, but the corner of the housing is broke off, and the same on this one. And they've kind of chewed those balls as well. Now I could get away with putting them back in, but I don't think I will. The winter is long, and I don't want to be having another day of a breakdown. So I bought 2 new cables, and I'll put them in stock. And sure, look, if I was ever stuck again, they might be coming useful. So I was able to get a new one of them. He was on about a new joystick, but I only put a new joystick in it last year, so he gave me that, and that goes onto the balls like that. So I'll get cracking here and get going because I want to get the cattle fed. So what I'll do first is I'll put this boy onto the joystick. So there's the joystick there, and you'll have to feed the cable in. So that's cable is an electrical cable, and just press that button on the joystick, and that sends power down to a solenoid on the end of the loader, and that allows you to open and close the grab. So before you used to have 3 levers to do all that, but now it's done with just 1 lever with 3 functions. Surely, yeah. Put that in upside down. No, put it in the right way, it'd be handy. Oh, okay. Right way. So he just screws on there like that. So that's him on there. And now I need to go up into the tractor and feed that cable down through the housing where this lad goes. Cows having to pick, waiting patiently to be fed. So I'll just get up in the tractor here and show you there where the joystick goes. There's the joystick and there's the housing. So this fella goes on there like that. So he pivots back over and back like that, and back and front like that. So I'm going to feed that wire down through there, and then it'll go down through a hole in the floor. I think my cables then kind of come up there. So what I'll do then is I'm going to feed 1 cable down from the top here, and I'm going to tape this electrical cable to it then, and that'll send it down. I don't have much space to work there, so I'll just get that cable now. Anyway, so there's my loader cable and there's my electrical cable. I'll just tape the 2 of them together. Feed it down then through the floor. So that's going down lovely like that. And I might do the same with the other cable there if it will fit. Just take that lock nut off it and see if that'll go down there as well. I normally try to shove them up the other way because I don't know if there's enough space on the head, but hopefully now that'll go down as well. Yeah, that'll fit as well. That's lovely. So that's the 2 of them fed down. So I need to go outside now and pull them down from the bottom and kind of direct them where I want to go out to the valve chest. So you can see where they have come down from up above there. So I want to bring them along here and up along and cable tie them to those pipes. So I'll try and get that done there now. Take off that. Let's take off that tape now because we're finished with that. We have that where we need it to be. So I'll try and bring it and not have it interfere with any other cables or pipes that are there, not to have them. So that's them out now. I'll just go back into the cab and line it up with a joystick. I'm not having a great morning. And after showing you there, I was putting in the loader cable in the tractor, and when I went to connect it onto the valve chest, it was too short. I'm really annoyed now because he didn't have the length I had. He said, "Oh, I have 6 inches longer, 6 inches shorter." He said 6 inches shorter will probably do you. I said, "Sure, we'll chance it." Should have went for the 6 inches longer. So now I've had to get Daddy out of his nice warm chair, reading the paper, and send him into town to get me to take back the 2 cables, get me a new one. The New Holland can't do anything because I can't work the loader. So I have the John Deere subbed in, but I couldn't start her this morning with the cold, even though she was parked in the shed. Just wouldn't start. So I had to get the New Holland in and jump lead her. Took me a while now to get her started. Then when I did get her started, then I couldn't get the grab to work. I couldn't open and close the grab because these 2 wires here were broken, but I had to start from down here and work my way back and troubleshoot it to see where it was wrong, so I could get the grab to open and close, because the grab was closed on the loader. So those bales are very heavy now for that tractor to be working, and I couldn't get the weight out either, because the balance weight, I mean, for the back of the tractor, because of course it was in behind the slurry spreader and in behind the bale handler, and oh Jesus, I just couldn't be getting it out. So I'm going to give the cows an extra bale of silage there today. I was giving them 2, but with the weather being cold now, I'm going to give them 3 and keep them full there. I've all the cattle fed now. I'm lucky to have that John Deere still around the place. Just unfortunate we had a few teething problems with her this morning. She's normally on the button start. Just a real cold weather now obviously put a bit of pressure on the batteries there. and I ran down the batteries trying to get her to turn over. So anyway, I'm back in the New Holland here. I'm just going to do the cables. I wasn't going to do the cables and then try and feed the cattle. I just got it finished with the other tractor there, and she did the job mightily. So I'll just show you here. I had all this joystick put back in there yesterday. You can see there the ball's back in and in the way it should fit. And then I went down to the valve chest, and when I offered up the cables, they would only come to there. So they were way too short. Oh my god. I didn't film it at the time now because I spoke a few words of a foreign language there. I had to run in then and ask my dad then would he go to Kilkenny for the parts. And remember now my dad is 94, so I'm very, very lucky to still have him around the place and be fit and able to do little jobs like that for me there. But I had to go take that loader cable fully apart again, take out all the cables, and now this is my second time coming back at it. So once is enough to do these jobs. Very frustrating Friday now, so it is. So I also had to buy this little kit now as well to go on top of here to join everything back up here. So I'll get that together. In a way now the extra length on the cable is a great job now. I may have to put them in an awful lot tighter in at the back of the track, in at the back of the battery box and things like that. So that kit there, this housing, put him on, and you screw him on to the very end like that. So I'll keep screwing him on there. So he's on there now, and then this little fella has to go on, and he twists on there. And I'll put him into the fella outside, and with that little pin goes through him like that, and then I'll lock that nut then when it's in a kind of a good position. That's down on there now, if you can see it. This fella, housing is on it. This fella then comes up. I have to screw him up now as well, and then put that collar on. So you can see where he's screwed up there, and then you put this collar up there, and you secure it underneath with two little bolts, my favourite little Allen key head jocks. So I'll get them on now. So that's the two of them in place. There's lock nuts here, so you adjust these, you can twist them, and that kind of gets a nice middle ground in for your loader. So I just have to go up and work the loader for a few minutes and then see whether they need adjusting. That's the joystick back in where it should be in the tractor, all back together, and those guys there are all fixed where I need them to be. Third time lucky. I had to take them off again and swap them around, because if you can see, one of them is kind of longer than the other, and this is the one for lifting up and down the loader, and that's the one for crowding, and I had them swapped, and I also had to swap them on the joystick to get the joystick to sit nicely. So I didn't know that now, why that extra crimp is on it, but anyway, we got there eventually. Sweat's coming off me. I feel like the whole day is gone and I've nothing done. So anyway, if I have that job done, the loader's fixed, and we can go, and at least we'll be able to feed cattle for the weekend. I suppose it could have been worse. Could have been Christmas Day that they broke, but anyway. Now I'm just down the fields there. I'm checking the weanlings, and seeing a jeep out in the field might piss an awful lot of people off, especially anyone on wet ground or that, but I would say I haven't the driest ground in Ireland, but I'm back grazing again now with the weanlings. As I saw in last week's video, I had them standing off on the road there and kind of sacrificing the paddock. And today is Friday, probably a week since the rain has stopped. And it's amazing the way the ground has dried out there. Like I had this field like earmarked for them, and to go out that paddock next door, and the far over paddock there's very heavy grass on it. I want to get this place all grazed off there, and so this will be the first place to come down with slurry in the springtime. It's cattle ground, so it wouldn't be priority to be early ground. But I'm delighted now that we got them in last week and got them vaccinated for the IBR dose as well. I mean, there's no coughing on them now. They're lovely, clean cattle there. Few dirty bums, but that's to be expected with the diet being wet grass and things like that. So they were getting silage. I don't think I'll put silage with them up here now. Just get them to graze it off there. I don't have any bases or anything like that to put ground feeders on, so things will just get messy. So it's a big change in a week, even from Monday to Friday, and a big change even from an easy day feeding the cattle on Monday to things going completely wrong on Friday. So anyway, everything is under control again. Everything is fed. That's the way it goes. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I'd like to thank you for watching. We'll leave it at that, and I'll see you in the next one.